Mar and Brian Sheehan in midfield, Darren O'Sullivan, Declan O'Sullivan, Donncha Walsh, and up front Colm Cooper, Kieran Donaghy and Kieran O'Leary. Dublin, Stephen Cluxton in goal, Cian O'Sullivan, Rory O'Carroll, Michael Fitzsimons, James McCarthy, Ger Brennan, Kevin Nolan, Bastick and Michael Dara McCauley, Paul Flynn, Barry Cahill, Brian Cullen, Alan Brogan, Dermot Connolly and Bernard Brogan, and we are just about ready to go. Joe McQuillan, the cabin referee, out in the centre of Croke Park. Dublin will play and attack the canal end in the first half of the 2011 All-Ireland Senior Football Final, and the game is on. McQuillan throws the ball in, Anthony Marr claims it right in the middle for Kerry, hits the deck, he's surrounded. Michael Dara McCauley robs it off from right on halfway. First touch for James McCarthy as he goes inside the Kerry 65-metre line. Dermot Connolly bringing Tom O'Sullivan way out the field, he's about 40 metres from the Kerry goal. Now it's Paul Flynn, left-footed, he sends that in towards Alan Brogan on the 13-metre line. Brogan can't catch it first time. He got a touch on that and it's gone out. There's some confusion with the umpires. It's been finally signalled as wide, but the umpire down there in the canal end wasn't quite sure, but it's a wide. Martin McHugh.
Just watching him here again, he felt, first of all, he felt Marcus Shea knocked it out over the line, but it was Killian Young actually knocked it over the line, but then he felt then that maybe Alan Brogan got a touch and knocked it over the line. Interesting, the switches on the Kerry team. Owen Bronson's gone to left half back, picking up Paul Flynn. Aidan O'Mahony at centre half back and Brian Cullen, and they've got Killian Young picking up Alan Brogan in the corner.
In the game in 2009, Kerry scored a goal through Cooper, Colm Cooper in the first 36 seconds. Donncha Walsh now inside the Dublin 45-metre line. Walsh now about 30 metres from goal. Darren O'Sullivan with the pace, O'Sullivan getting through. 13 metres out, he's got help from Declan O'Sullivan, and Declan O'Sullivan gets the first point of this All-Ireland final with the fist, went with the fist. Put it over from a difficult angle right into Hill 16, and Declan O'Sullivan gets the first point of this game, and Kerry take the lead.
Interesting, Dara. Declan O'Sullivan's moved to full forward, and they're playing him at full forward now. At this stage, it's interesting. They've Kieran Donaghy playing at left half forward.
Rory O'Carroll was expected to try and mark Kieran Donaghy. Anthony Marr claiming that second one around the middle for the Kerry midfielder. Now it's Darren O'Sullivan right on halfway, gets it back from Brian Sheehan. O'Sullivan sends it in long in towards Kieran O'Leary, but O'Leary beaten to it by Cian O'Sullivan. Ball played into the Kerry half right on the 45-metre line. It's Killian Young, and he's surrounded by three Dublin players. Killian Young manages to boot it clear, but not particularly far, and the ball has gone off. The Dublin captain Brian Cullen for a line ball over on the far side in front of the Cusack stand, right on the Kerry 45-metre line.
But last did you see Kieran Donaghy playing at left half forward on a team switches. Jack O'Connor always makes switches before the match and dressing inside. Declan O'Sullivan playing in the full forward line. Clutch Cooper being picked up by Michael Fitzsimons.
It's Anthony Marr deep inside his own half, just outside the arc. He plays it left footed to Kieran Donaghy, who is popping up now in the left half back position. Aidan O'Mahony was to have been at left half back, can't hold on to it. Barry Cahill right up close to it. Kieran Donaghy manages to keep the ball in play, plays it down into the left corner, but sprinting towards it is Declan O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan on the Dublin 13-metre line, about 10 metres in from the near sideline. Brilliant skill from Declan O'Sullivan, a two-footed player. He's got the first point of this game, and he plays it back, hand passes it out to Darren O'Sullivan. Right on the Dublin 45-metre line is midfielder Brian Sheehan. Thought about the shot, and Brosnan goes through. He's gone into the arc, has to get rid of it very quickly, and pressure put on him by Cian O'Sullivan, and Dublin able to clear, and Brogan is out in the left half forward position. Brogan heading towards the Kerry 45-metre line in front of the Cusack stand. Dermot Connolly out in front of Tom O'Sullivan, looking to equalise. Connolly, he hasn't managed to put it over the bar, right under the crossbar. It was claimed for Kerry by Brendan Keeley at the second attempt. That seemed certain to go over, but just fell short in the end, and Keeley able to prevent the point.
I thought he should have taken another solo out of it, Jim McConnelly, Darren.
Dublin still to score. Kerry lead by a point to no score. We're in the 4th minute of the 2011 All-Ireland Senior Football Final. Kerry attacking again in front of Hill 16. And Dublin have it back with Rory O'Carroll. Won it from Declan O'Sullivan, who's in it full forward for Kerry. And Dublin playing a lot of football deep inside their own half. Cian O'Sullivan able to clear out to Dennis Baston. Now on the about 50 metres from the Dublin goal, they're on their own 65-metre line. Paul Flynn got it hand pass to him. He's bottled up it, releases it to James McCarthy. McCarthy loves to get forward for Dublin. He's on the Kerry 45-metre line, and that came off on Brosnan. A sideline ball to Dublin.
Yeah, interesting there, Darragh. Dublin are dropping their two wing half backs and Kerry's wing half forwards back, and the Kerry two half forwards or half backs, are not following them, and they're dropping back into the space in front of the full back line.
4 minutes 20 seconds on the watch. Kerry leading by a point to no score. The sideline ball taken by Dermot Connolly to James McCarthy. A young man in his early 20s now. It's Alan Brogan. Brogan spins one way, then the other. Tries the shot from about 25 metres out, but he's put it wide on the near side, shooting into the canal end, and that a bad miss for Alan Brogan. The first wide for Dublin, the second wide indeed for Dublin. Brendan Keeley takes the kick out, and Kieran Donaghy popping up now as the right half back for Kerry. So Kerry changing their kick out strategy. Tomas O'Shea railing forward. Colm will have to be closer to him, and watch him far closer. Here's Colm Cooper, he's got it 35 metres out. Kieran O'Leary passes it back to Colm Cooper. He was surrounded, three dubs around him. Kieran O'Leary tried to pick it. Darren O'Sullivan on the Dublin 45-metre line, centre of the pitch, plays it left-footed to Brian Sheehan. Sheehan tried to get away from Ger Brennan, shoots left-footed, but he's missed it. Put it about 10 yards wide, kicking into Hill 16, and that is Kerry's first wide. 5.5 minutes on the watch. They still lead by a point to no score.
Yes, quick kick out. Kieran Donaghy is the player causing the problems. Kerry are using him for the kick outs, and Dublin need to put a man on him and pick him up.
Donaghy at times this year didn't have the best of matches in close to goal in that full forward position, but playing out the field and causing Dublin real issues. Kerry attacking again 50 metres from the Dublin goal. Kieran O'Leary is bottled up, managed to hand pass it away, but Alan Brogan, almost playing as a centre half back, gets back there. Michael Darragh McCauley got rid of it to Nolan. They describe as the unsung hero of this Dublin team. Ger Brennan taking his time, and now Brennan just going forward. Darren O'Sullivan prevented his run, and Brennan, who's left-footed, plays it on his right foot all the way across to the free man, James McCarthy, who now enters the Kerry 65-metre line. Belts it in high, right-footed. Tom O'Sullivan claims it ahead of Dermot Connolly. That's going to be a great battle between the two of those. Anthony Marr back there helping out inside the arc. Here's Tomas O'Shea, his 10th All-Ireland final today. Kieran Donaghy on the Kerry 45-metre line, but 5 metres in from the Cusack stand side of Croke Park. Hand passes it up to Owen Brosnan. Brosnan loves to go forward. He's now on the Kerry or the Dublin 45-metre line in front of the Cusack stand. Declan O'Sullivan, the scorer of the only point of this All-Ireland final, gets rid of it to Donegal Walsh. Walsh starting his first All-Ireland final today, takes the shot, Cluxton's out and manages to fist it away. A good strong right fist on that from Stephen Cluxton, but Dublin still under pressure, but now they're not, and Dennis Bastick able to clear it out wide to Paul Flynn. Flynn wearing 10, the right half forward from Fingallians, plays it forward towards Barry Cahill, his centre forward, but it goes out for a line ball to Kerry, and this is frantic stuff in the early stages of this All-Ireland final. Tom O'Sullivan now just crossing his own 65-metre line. Well, he never got there, fluffed his possession, but Owen Brosnan came to his rescue. Now it's Tomas O'Shea as they work it sideways. O'Shea, Dermot Connolly trying to get close to him, and Tomas O'Shea plays it forward, right-footed. Colm Cooper has got a yard or two on Mick Fitzsimons. Now it's Darren O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan dragged back, was he, by Ger Brennan? No, he wasn't. The shot from Kieran O'Leary got a slight deflection. Declan O'Sullivan in after. Here's Donegal Walsh. Walsh can't hang on to it, and the ball ends up wide as Stephen Cluxton was happy to see it go wide, very happy to see it go wide. Donegal Walsh, there was a bit of panic in there in the Dublin defence.
Yeah, they were. Dublin are playing this zonal defending, and they're doing that. We have a great view of it from up here, what they're doing, but they're allowing Kerry to come on to them. The happier team so far will definitely be Kerry, and Dublin, I think, need to look at it from the Kerry kick-outs, that they're going to have to put either one of the midfielders on Kieran Donaghy, put a player on. He's playing now at left half forward again, being picked up by James McCarthy, and that's causing problems for Cluxton. He can't take the kick out to this side of the field.
Donaghy roaming again, and he's got in there ahead of Michael Darragh McCauley, and Kerry have it free on the Dublin 65-metre line. They lead by a point to no score. We're in the 9th minute here in Croke Park. Here's Declan O'Sullivan for Kerry, taking on Rory O'Carroll right on the 13-metre line, and O'Carroll, well, it was picked up off the ground by Declan O'Sullivan. O'Carroll did well. He just frustrated Declan O'Sullivan, who's had a good game so far in full forward for Kerry, got the only point of the match with the fist, but Rory O'Carroll, his persistence paid off, and he forced Darren O'Sullivan to make the mistake, or Declan, excuse me, to make the mistake. The free taken by Ger Brennan to Alan Brogan. Now it's Cian O'Sullivan, who was to have been wearing number 2, but has started the match wearing number 4, and Michael Fitzsimons has 2 on his back, so a change from the official programme. The ball gone out of play. Hogan stands side midway between the 20-metre line and the 45-metre line, and Kerry will have a line ball. Barry Cahill, it came off last.
It's interesting. Kerry have gone man to man in defence. You see Barry Cal there being picked up by Aidan O'Mahony, who's picking him up. They're dropping players back. But Kerry, I said, they'll definitely be the happier team so far.
Dublin with 2 wides but no score. Now they have a free as Alan Brogan tried to pick that and he was caught by Owen Brosnan, and Joe McQuillan, the referee, in to have a word, or just to take note of the Kerry player who gave away the free, who was Owen Brosnan, who put his hand up straight away to apologise. And now we're going to have a free for Dublin. Bernard Brogan has the ball in his hands, but they're bringing Stephen Cluxton forward, Dublin's 4th highest scorer in this year's championship with 10 points, and Cluxton is about what? Put a distance on that, Martin.
Yeah, Dara, he's about what you're talking about, 35 metres from the goals. But the interesting one, if this was a forward taking this free or a midfielder, he'd be blowing up for too long to get to take the free. And there's something going to have to look at, which the GA, we haven't looked at in the GA from the point of view of how long it takes a keeper to get out to take these kicks.
Well, it must be, it's at least a minute since Dublin actually were awarded the free, perhaps longer, and Stephen Cluxton kicks it left-footed, trying to draw it in as he managed it. No, he's put it wide on the far side, kicking into the canal end, and Cluxton, just as he runs back towards his own goal,
Kieran Donaghy had a word with him.
And you can only imagine, we're not going to repeat what he said, but you can only imagine what he did say as Stephen Cluxton missed that. But Dublin, that is their 3rd wide now.
And doesn't Dara watch this kick out? Will he aim it at Kieran Donaghy and they say, now Dublin are starting to drop their midfielders. Michael Dara McCauley across on him, here comes.
Right down the middle, Donaghy travels towards it, but it's not going to go near him, and Michael Dara McCauley catches it on the Kerry 65-metre line. They are a point behind. We're in the 11th minute. It's played forward towards Bernard Brogan, last year's Footballer of the Year, 23 points in the championship. His brother Alan is out there with him. Dermot Connolly there, and Alan has missed one already. Now he goes for the point, and a brilliant point, just drew it in. First point of the game for Dublin after 3 wides, and that should steady some early nerves. A point apiece in the 11th minute.
Yeah, that's a very good score by Alan Brogan. Interesting, the kick out, they're going to have to drop midfielders. That's what they're doing. That's the first thing covered it. Kerry definitely have done it here to aim the kick out to them on this side of the field, and Dublin did really well there. Here comes this side of the field again. Yeah,
this side is the Hogan stand side of Donaghy, the target, and he catches it brilliantly. There were 2 Dublin players around him. One of them, James McCarthy, manages to get rid of the ball. Aidan O'Mahony takes the challenge from Paul Flynn on his own 65-metre line, and then some afters. Flynn appeared to push Aidan O'Mahony to the ground, but and now the referee is going to have a word on another incident off the ball. Bastick and Dennis Bastick and Kieran Donaghy getting involved. Tensions running high, as you would expect in the early stages of the biggest game of the year. This, the 61st match of the 2011 championship, the 26th meeting of Dublin and Kerry, and Paul Flynn has a yellow card against him already. So that is a big moment in this game. It's very early for a player who is combative and likes to get in people's faces to have a caution against him. A yellow card against Paul Flynn of Dublin. Kerry with the free, which Brian Sheehan will take on the Dublin 65-metre line. Loads of movement ahead of it. Darren O'Sullivan is looking for it, and James McCarthy caught out of position, and O'Sullivan had got in behind him, but he was just a yard away from getting his hands on the ball. It was the right idea. There were loads of movement ahead. Dublin didn't seem to react, and James McCarthy, the ball sailed over his head, and I'm looking down and watching Eamon Fennell of Dublin has taken the tracksuit top off, and he's actually replaced it with some other kind of tracksuit. I thought for a minute he was going to come in, but Fennell will warm up at the minute for Pat Gilroy's team. Dublin with possession momentarily over on the far side. It's gone out of play, but initially I think the linesman signalled a line ball to Kerry, but he's given a free to Dublin just inside the Kerry 65-metre line. Dermot Connolly comes out towards the 45 to get it. They go backwards to Kevin Nolan of Kilmacud Crokes in Dublin. Nolan running with the ball, passing the Kerry 45-metre line, now plays it in left-footed, but it's an awful ball, and Brian Sheehan wasn't marking anybody, and he collects it on his own 20-metre line, and Kerry set up another attack with Killian Young, the right cornerback, who's playing, but just at that minute was playing in the half-back line for Kerry. Darren O'Sullivan forced sideways to Kieran Donaghy, who's been the thorn in Dublin's side already. It's caused a lot of issues for James McCarthy. He's forced sideways to Anthony Marr. Free man over on the far side is Tomas O'Shea. O'Shea just on the Dublin 45-metre line, takes on Cullen. He's got pace. Cullen is no slouch either. Now he's on the 20-metre line, heading towards the 13. Went one way, then the other, took the shot left-footed, but never caught it particularly well. And it's an easy catch for Stephen Cluxton. No pressure on him at all. Paul Flynn is the yellow card against him. Ger Brennan with the fist pass on his left side was for Dennis Bastick, but Bastick collided with Brian Sheehan. It'll be a Dublin ball.
It's interesting, Dublin are playing the zonal defence, and we just look at the Kerry forward line. Said Kieran Dunlea's left half forward. Now Darren O'Sullivan's in the centre. Ger Brennan's dropping back to cover his full back line. So interesting if Kerry can get more ball to Darren O'Sullivan as centre half forward.
The 30-year-old Dennis Bastick lets that go long. Diarmuid Connolly collects it out in front of Tom O'Sullivan on the 45-metre line. Plays it left-footed up towards Bernard Brogan. Brogan with Mark O'Shea in tow. Brogan slips. The surface is greasy. The rain seems to have stopped. He's over right at the corner flag. Lets it go towards Michael Darragh Macaulay on the 13-metre line. But Kerry able to defend that extremely well. It was easy for Kerry to cope with that Dublin attack. Aidan O'Mahony now has it at the edge of the arc. Now it's Killian Young. They're all mad for the ball. But Young was challenged by Dennis Bastick. The snapshot from Alan Brogan. And Brogan puts that over. And Dublin lead by 2 points to 1. Kerry had that situation so under control, but they lost the ball on their own 45-metre line, and Dublin lead in the All-Ireland final for the first time, and we're 15 minutes in.
Yeah, I thought Killian Young was definitely fouled. The Kerry players not happy. They've all getting on to Joe McCullen, the referee, about it. It looked as if he's fouled. Now he's given a free here. Now there probably wasn't a free. It was a big call that by the referee. I thought it was definitely a free. It should have been a free out to Kerry. Good score by Alan Brogan.
Brogan, they reckon, one really good performance away from being Footballer of the Year. I'm sure somebody like Colm Cooper would have an issue with that. He's never won that accolade. There's a Dublin player down injured. He seemed to be caught in the face. Declan O'Sullivan wants to get on with the match with a free. He's midway between the Dublin 65-metre line and the 45-metre line in front of the Cusack stand. We are still waiting for play to restart. It's Kevin Nolan of Dublin who's down injured, and there are two members of the Dublin backroom team out treating him. Kerry with just 1 point to show for their efforts. They haven't scored since the second minute, and that point, for all the good football that Kerry have played, the point came from the fist of Declan O'Sullivan, their centre half forward. Kieran Donaghy now appears to have gone into the Dublin full forward line, so they're going to continue with this policy of rotating him around, and it has been effective.
Yeah, it has been effective. Both teams are going to do that. If Kieran Donaghy now inside at full forward, Declan O'Sullivan now's gone out to right half forward. That's where he won that ball there on Kevin Nolan, and said Darren O'Sullivan's on the 40. Interesting stat about no number 13 has ever captained a team to win in All Ireland. Will Colm Cooper do that today? It's interesting. We looked at the Tipperary minor captain was number 13 as well. So maybe it's the weekend with Brian O'Driscoll having captained Ireland yesterday. Maybe it's the weekend for the 13 star.
And today, the 13th meeting of these two counties in an All-Ireland senior final. Jack O'Connor, we can see down in front of us as Kevin Nolan is still receiving treatment. The Dublin left half back, Jack O'Connor, just chatting to his backroom team of Ger O'Keefe, Diarmuid Murphy, Alan O'Sullivan and Donny Buckley, just offering some opinions to those around him. Kerry trailing by 2 points to 1. Kevin Nolan is okay to continue. There's a little conference going on between Joe McQuillan and David Coldrick, who is the linesman over on the Cusack stand side of Croke Park. Dublin lead by 2 points to 1. Tomas O'Shea gets on with it with the free, played in low to Declan O'Sullivan outside the Dublin 45-metre line. Anthony Marr, the 24-year-old, plays it in long towards Kieran Donaghy, who's now playing in it full forward, but that has gone wide. It was a poor ball in from Anthony Marr. The idea was sound to try and draw Kieran Donaghy out from the large rectangle. That's Kerry though with their fourth wide, and they've scored only 1 point. Dublin leading by 2 to 1. Declan O'Sullivan got the Kerry point, both Dublin points from Alan Brogan. Owen Brosnan bottled up, surrounded by two Dublin players. The free taken already was from Kieran O'Leary, but Rory O'Carroll, the very impressive Dublin fullback, was out in front of him. Brian Cullen with the hand pass across to Ger Brennan of St Vincent's and Dublin, won an All-Ireland club 3 years ago. That was played in towards Diarmuid Connolly as Vincent's teammate, but it comes straight back out. Here is Darren O'Sullivan. If Dublin let him run, he could cause them all sorts of trouble, and O'Sullivan still going with the hand pass across to Cooper. Goal for Kerry. Colm Cooper from about 10 metres out. Darren O'Sullivan did get running, and he tore them open. And Colm Cooper, just as he did in 2009, has a goal against Dublin. The finish was wonderful on his left boot, and he just placed it into the corner beyond the outstretched Stephen Cluxton. Their first score since the second minute. We're now in the 18th minute, and Kerry lead by 1-1 to 2 points. Colm Cooper with an astonishing goal, but Darren O'Sullivan gets so much credit for it.
Yeah, Darren O'Sullivan, like we talked about pace. This is about playing a zonal defence. You allow teams, particularly half forwards, to run at you. And you can't allow Declan O'Sullivan, Darren O'Sullivan on a ball into Cooper, into the right player. It's probably one of his only touches in the match so far. What's he do? He puts the ball to the net.
Dublin survived, well, it never really materialised, an early Kerry blitz, despite all the possession that Kieran Donaghy had. but for all the good work that they have done, that's been undone by Colm Cooper's goal, and they find themselves behind again. Cooper just looking down in front of the Dublin goal. He's redoing the bootlace.
Yeah, the interesting one is in my opinion, is the Darren O'Sullivan, Ger Brennan one. Ger Brennan's trying to keep zonal defence. Now, what happens in that situation? Dublin kicked away the ball the other end, and then when it was worked down Dara, that's when Darren O'Sullivan, Ger Brennan covering the full back, and Darren O'Sullivan running at them, and that caused them problems.
Let's go down to the line and join Pádraig Lodge. Pádraig.
Just to let you know, Dara, that Paul Galvin has warmed up here. He's got his gloves on as well, although his training bib remains on, but there is an indication from chatting to Ger O'Keefe that he'll be coming into the fray pretty shortly.
Where will he come in? He's been playing at centre back in some of their training matches. The Dublin attack with Paul Flynn. Hand pass back to Dennis Bastick. Bastick from a tricky angle tries the shot, but he drops it a couple of metres short into the arms of Brendan Keeley. That's the second time that Dublin have managed that and have done that so far in this All-Ireland final. Kerry been put under pressure high up the pitch, right in front of their own 20-metre line. Aidan O'Mahony and Tomás O'Shea got them out of that trouble, and here come Kerry again with Killian Young, two on his back, but playing, it appears, in the half-back line. The hand pass was for Darren O'Sullivan, and Darren O'Sullivan fouled right on halfway, or just close to it, by Michael Dara McCauley.
Yeah, Darren O'Sullivan to me is the big player of this half. We talked about it when Ger Brennan's going to drop off, Kerry have to get him the ball. Both defences completely on top, because the way Dublin are playing is a zonal defence and taking their two wing half forwards back down the field. Here comes Galvin. This is the big part. 20 minutes, people said he'd be in. He's on his way in. Will it be Donoghue Walsh will be taken off, or would they maybe take off Kieran O'Leary inside? Probably Donoghue Walsh.
Wait till you hear the roar around the place. It is 20 minutes was one of the times we heard mentioned, and indeed certain people said to me today that he would start.
Some left to have just after scoring a goal to take that man off the bench.
The roof will lift off Croke Park, but Paul Galvin is going to come in any minute for Kerry. Darren O'Sullivan as Kerry attack. Kieran O'Leary on the Dublin 20-metre line, 10 metres in from the near sideline. Hogan stands side, the ball across towards Colm Cooper. He just couldn't stretch up high enough. He was right in the centre of the Dublin 13-metre line, and Michael Dara McCauley has made a mess of his clearance, but it's been retrieved though on the Dublin 45-metre line, right close to the sideline by Paul Flynn. Here's Ger Brennan, a very fine defender. Whether or not he has the pace to keep up with Darren O'Sullivan, well, does Usain Bolt have the pace to keep up with Darren O'Sullivan? We're not sure about that. Dublin attack with Barry Cahill right on the 45-metre line. He's got Aidan O'Mahony with it. It opens up for Cahill. Cahill goes through. He's knocked to the ground. Dublin have a free in about 15 metres away from the Kerry goal, and again there's a little flashpoint with Anthony Marr and Diarmuid Connolly, but for a moment it just parted there. The Kerry defence opened up, and Barry Cahill, another step or two, he would have been through, but Dublin will take the free to get the next score after the Colm Cooper goal, Martin.
Yeah, it's Bernard Brogan just tapped this ball over the bar. It's interesting, kicking ball doesn't seem to be working for either team into the full forward line. It's when teams running at each other. Barry Cahill that time, talked about Darren O'Sullivan the last time, so definitely, and Kerry definitely have the kick-outs. There's a player down here off the ball. It's Declan O'Sullivan's gone down off the ball. If you want to see the Pat McEnany jacket, or not Pat McEnany, the linesman down on this side of the field. It's Rory O'Carroll that was involved in it. Now Darren O'Sullivan's coming out to get involved. Hopefully this doesn't get nasty, Dara.
Well, Bernard Brogan has actually put the ball over the bar. Declan O'Sullivan down on the ground, and there's two players, one from either side, Darren O'Sullivan and I think it's Rory O'Carroll, almost in a what we'll call an embrace on the ground. Play has been stopped. Pat McEnany, the linesman, has come in to try and calm things down. Aidan O'Mahony was booked just before Bernard Brogan put the ball over the bar, but Declan O'Sullivan down injured, and then Darren O'Sullivan got involved with Rory O'Carroll. It has all calmed down, but there's an awful lot of tension out there, as you would expect. But the referee has issued 2 yellow cards already and is not afraid to caution the players. Now down behind the Hill 16 goal, I think it's Jimmy Galligan, one of the umpires, with his right arm outstretched. He wants to have a word with Joe McQuillan. Just how good a view did they have of that incident? But Darren O'Sullivan is back on his feet, it appears. Yes, indeed he is, with Rory O'Carroll, and both umpires are down there, down in front of Hill 16. It's TP Gray and Jimmy Galligan. They have imparted their information to Joe McQuillan, the referee, and now he's strolling out towards Rory O'Carroll. He just beckons towards him to bring him across. But what colour will the card be for the Dublin fullback? Joe McQuillan still talking to him and furiously writing things down, and it's going to be a yellow card for Rory O'Carroll. the Dublin number 3.
Interesting, Dara. Switches, Dublin made switches. Jared Brennan now's come out to pick up Kieran Donaghy, right half back. So I think they're going to forget about the zonal defence from that point of view. He's trying to stop him getting on the kick out. Here comes Galvin. You hear the cheer. Galvin's come on the field. I think they're putting Donaghy inside, and Galvin's coming out to wing half for Donaghy inside.
It's Kieran O'Leary who has come off. And we've just seen a replay of that incident with Rory O'Carroll and Declan O'Sullivan, and it seemed to be a trip. There wasn't an awful lot in it. Paul Galvin has come in, Kieran O'Leary off, and Galvin, you heard the roar around the place as he went looking for the ball straight away. We've had a lengthy stoppage. Kerry lead by 1-1 to Dublin's 3 points, and we're in the 25th minute of the 2011 All-Ireland Senior Football Final. It's been very tense. It's yet to really open up, but Kerry have given the ball away to Barry Cahill, who's dragged back. An advantage been played by the referee. Here's Brian Cullen now, 45 metres out, dinks that in towards Bernard Brogan. He knocks it down to Allen. Allen with a goal chance for Dublin. Great stop by the Kerry goalkeeper, Brendan Keeley. Still the danger not clear. Tom O'Sullivan got to it. That was a brilliant save by Brendan Keeley. They say that he's vulnerable underneath the high ball, but that was drilled in low at him. He made himself as big as he possibly could and blocked it away. Goal chance goes a begging, denied by Brendan Keeley, the Kerry goalkeeper. Kerry have a free about 50 metres or so, a little more away from the Dublin goal, centre of the park. Colm Cooper took it. Declan O'Sullivan has it, surrounded by 3 Dublin defenders. Now Donncha Walsh onto it. Walsh is heading towards the Dublin goal, but he's dispossessed, and Michael Fitzsimons has it for Dublin, the young cornerback, and he's fouled on the way out. Free to Dublin. Brian Cullen has taken it already. Dublin want to get the pace up. They want that high tempo that served them so well, particularly against Tyrone and in the Leinster Championship. They haven't scored a goal, by the way, since they came out of Leinster. Dermot Connolly has it out in front of O'Sullivan yet again. That's a great battle between the two. Now Galvin trying to take it off. Connolly is still going. Connolly has gone away from both of them, but he missed his shot. He tried it left-footed 30 metres away and got it badly wrong and dropped it short. It was only a yard or 2 off the ground, but Brendan Keeley collected it.
That's a great chance. I mean, the Alan Brogan goal chance, it could have been a goal and a point from play. Chairman Conn did everything right. He was scoring them for fun against Tyrone with his left or his right foot. That was a great chance for it. But I have to give credit to Alan Brogan chance. A great save by Brendan Keeley in the goals.
Colm Cooper is fouled as he collected that ball by Michael Fitzsimons just outside the Dublin 45-metre line. Cooper again left-footed. Crossfield ball to Donncha Walsh. Walsh steadies down, throws that in, or fires that in towards Kieran Donaghy. He's got out in front. Donaghy with a goal chance, and it's stopped by Cian O'Sullivan. But did he pick the ball up off the ground in the large rectangle? I have a feeling he did. We're a long way away. The referee had a perfectly good view of it. Kieran Donaghy was screaming at him. It was a wonderful block by Cian O'Sullivan, but did he pick the ball up off the ground in the large rectangle? Alan Brogan has it for Dublin, right on halfway. It hasn't hit the high points we expected, but you can't take your eyes off this. It is gripping. Kerry lead by 1-1 to 3 points, and Dublin get on with the free, but the referee's going to call them back. It's Paul Flynn who is down injured for Dublin, just gets a pat on the back from Dermot Connolly, and he's going to need some treatment, and the players and ourselves indeed will welcome the opportunity to catch our breath.
Just great block there. We just see it here again, and did he touch the ball on the ground? It's just showing Alan Brogan chance here now in his great save. I think he should have put it across. Maybe Jeremy Connolly's across, tap it into an empty net. It's 2 good saves. That was a great save by Cian O'Sullivan. Donaghy causing problems in there now. They've switched it. Cian O'Sullivan ended up on him at that stage, but now they've made a switch and put Rory Carroll back on him.
Well, they're going to bring, Dublin will have a free, by the way, a free in for Stephen Cluxton. It's right in the centre of the pitch, but he's a good distance out. He's nearer the Dublin or the Kerry 45-metre line than the 65-metre line, but he missed the first one from closer in. This one he could be close to 50, maybe 52 metres out. He's right in the centre of the field at Croke Park. And Stephen Cluxton has this free to bring them level. 10 points in the championship. The Dublin fans on the canal end, you heard the roar. From the moment he kicked it, he knew it was over, and Dublin have the last 2 scores. Kerry's last score, the goal in the 18th minute. That was 10 minutes ago, that wonderful goal from Colm Cooper, and the sides all level after 28 minutes. Kerry 1-1, Dublin 4 points.
Yeah, and it's settled down now. Paul Galvin's come in at left half forward, and he's been picked up by Kevin Nolan and left half forward. Donaghy's gone inside now, playing with Cooper inside in a 2-man full forward lane.
Donncha Walsh, he's another one of the unsung heroes of the Kerry team, real workhorse. Paul Galvin gave the ball away straight to Cullen. This is a good period, it feels like a good period for Dublin, but they are settling into this match. Bernard Brogan, far side, on the 20-metre line, tries the shot, Brogan on his right foot, and Brogan has got it. A quarter of a point for Bernard Brogan. The angle was tricky. He was about 10 metres in from the Cusack stand sideline, but managed to slot it over, and Dublin go in front 5 points to Kerry's 1-1 after 29 minutes.
It's a bad mistake by Paul Galvin coming off the bench. He won the ball, he tried to kick it across to Thomas O'Shea, wing half back, and it was cut out by Dublin. Ball into Bernard Brogan. He really turned well and kicked it over the last. 2 good scores in a row for Dublin. Cluxton's free kick settled them, and Bernard Brogan's great score.
They have 3 in a row, and it's been a really good period for the Brogan. Stephen Cluxton with that free, but they've got 3 unanswered points since Kerry scored that goal, and Kerry making another mistake in their own defence. That time it was Mark O'Shea. Dennis Bastick launches it in towards Bernard Brogan. He is furious with Bastick because the ball has skipped away and gone wide. That is their 5th wide, but there was an opportunity there because Mark O'Shea had gone out to try and launch the attack and left Bernard Brogan right in there. He was the only Dublin player in there and no Kerry man around him, and Bastick missed him by a yard with the pass into it.
Yes, could have been a very good foot pass inside. You see Pat Kilroy on the side, not happy with the draw. I think mistakes are going to make the difference in this game, and Kerry have made a few mistakes this last couple of minutes.
Bastick trying to claim that in midfield for Dublin, but he was fouled, I think, by Anthony Marr. Dublin have a free on the Kerry 65-metre line. Barry Cahill getting ready to take it. Foot pass in towards Alan Brogan, who's come way out right on the Kerry 45-metre line, just on the Hogan stand sideline. Brogan lets it go early in towards his brother Bernard, but that's brilliantly claimed for Kerry by Mark O'Shea, and he surges out, but this is what he did a couple of minutes ago and almost got caught. Hand pass to Owen Brosnan as Mark O'Shea heads back to his full-back position. Ball now in midfield with Dennis Bastick of Dublin. Now Alan Brogan almost playing as a midfielder. Dermot Connolly is out in front of Tom O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan collides with a Dublin man, Paul Flynn, and Dublin have a free in just on the edge of the arc, right in the centre of the arc indeed, and they can stretch their lead. At the moment they lead by 5 points to 1-1. Dermot Connolly, the player fouled by Paul Galvin, and this free, well, it should be converted. Commentators curse at all that, but if you're going to win in All-Ireland, if they're going to win Sam Maguire, these opportunities have got to go over.
Yeah, they have to go over. You expect Bernard Brogan to knock this over easily. Dermot Connolly still down injured. Interesting, since Kerry have taken Donaghy out of the half-forward line, they're struggling in that area. They used him for the kickouts now. They're trying to work the ball out of defence, and Dublin are crowding them out, getting the bodies in there. So it's definitely a good spell for Dublin, but you need to they've missed that goal chance by Alan Brogan. Dermot Connolly had an easy point chance. You've got to take all your chances, but definitely Dublin have got on top now, especially in that midfield area. You're
not missing anything because Dermot Connolly, who was fouled there by Paul Galvin, is actually down injured, and this free, if you look at where it's going to be taken from, as the referee Joe McQuillan takes a slug of water. It's quite warm here, even though it's not a particularly nice day, although the sun's starting to come out, and the free, well, it's got a little bit closer to goal. It's about 25 metres out for Bernard Brogan. The sun coming out, the rain has stopped thankfully, and Bernard Brogan with this free. Since the Cooper goal in the 18th minute, Kerry haven't scored, and Dublin now have put over 4 unanswered points as Bernard Brogan slots that over for a point, and Dublin lead Kerry by 6 points to 1-1.
It's hard to believe we've gone 32 minutes, Darren, into the match, and Kerry have only scored one in the match, and defences are both on top. And I just think Dublin have got to grips, even with the Kerry kick out.
Kerry's average scoring tally during the course of the championship, 1 goal and 20. A lot of football to be played, but Dublin having a really good spell at the moment. Paul Flynn on the 45-metre line just dinked that in towards Bernard Brogan, but he couldn't get to it, and Mark O'Shea claims it for Kerry and sends the hand pass out to Brian Sheehan, who's been quiet for the last 15 minutes or so. Aidan O'Mahony on his own 45-metre line. 2 Dublin players around him. One of them was the captain, Brian Cullen, and Kerry have the ball with Mark O'Shea and playing inside their own 45-metre line. The foot pass puts some distance on that for Killian Young. Now they cross the 45-metre line. Tom O'Sullivan encouraged to come forward. Declan O'Sullivan. Dublin drop everybody back, and Declan O'Sullivan left-footed up towards Darren O'Sullivan, who can't hang on, and Donegal Walsh. There was a collision with the 2 Kerry men, and Cian O'Sullivan penalised for a challenge while he was on the ground, and Kerry with a free just outside the Dublin 45-metre line, and they haven't scored since the 18th minute. We're now in the 33rd minute, and Kerry are 2 points behind. Dublin leading by 6 points to 1-1, and this will be Brian Sheehan territory.
Yeah, he's a wee bit off his side, all right. He's checking the breeze. They're just throwing up a bit of grass in the air. Kerry badly need to score at this stage, and they're struggling, putting a lot of pressure on them, getting a lot of bodies in. And Kerry like to keep it open and keep running at people. And see, he's kicking this into the hill. This would be an interesting kick, Darren.
Absolutely, yeah. Brian Sheehan is a couple of metres outside the Dublin 45-metre line to the right of the post as he kicks into hill 16. They haven't scored in such a long time. The goal from Cooper was in the 18th minute. Sheehan has made a decent contact, but it drops short. Drops about 6 metres short. Darren O'Sullivan out towards Cooper. Now it's Paul Galvin. Galvin shoots from 20 metres out, and Galvin slots that over. And their famine without a score is finally over. Now in the 34th minute, Paul Galvin, the substitute who came on after 20 minutes, brings Kerry back to within a point. They've had two very long spells without a score. Dublin lead by 6 points to 1-2.
I think we look at it down here. This zonal defence, Dublin tried to do it again, even for the kickouts, the Cluxton kickouts. He's calling people in to get the space to kick the ball into. They like aiming them at Paul Flynn, but Owen Brosnan's picking up Paul Flynn, so he's gone short this time with the kickout.
Their first point of the match was a fisted point from Declan O'Sullivan. 16 minutes later followed Colm Cooper's goal, and then you go forward another 16 or so minutes to Galvin's point. A Dublin attack with Ger Brennan up from centre half back. Brennan is 25 metres out, and he's caught and fouled by Paul Galvin, and Dublin will have a free 20 odd metres away from the Kerry goal, about 25 metres or so in from the Cusack stand sideline. Bernard Brogan put one over from a similar sort of position. Second free that Paul Galvin has given away, and he needs to be careful. 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. We're in the last minute of the first half, and Bernard Brogan with this free on the Kerry 20-metre line can wipe out the Galvin point and give them a 2-point lead heading towards half-time, and Brogan has put it wide. He didn't like it from the moment he kicked it, and that is a bad miss, and the pressure can get to everybody, including the Footballer of the Year.
I think justice done there. I didn't think it was a free end watching it here with a good view of it down here. I didn't think Galvin. I thought Galvin actually got the ball, so I think justice was done, but it's a bad miss. She should have could have cancelled out the point at the other end. Both teams starting to kick short kick-outs. Both defences have been on top, and I think Kerry need to get more ball in the middle of the field because they have the beaten inside, especially if they get long high ball into Dunny with Cooper playing off, but they haven't got enough ball in there.
It's still Dublin who lead by a point. 6 points to Kerry's 1-2 as Declan O'Sullivan heads towards the Dublin 45-metre line, finds Darren O'Sullivan with Keane O'Sullivan in front of him, no relation. Here's Declan O'Sullivan back to Donegal Walsh. Walsh goes sideways across, skimming across the Dublin 45-metre line. It's Tomas O'Shea up, and O'Shea heads towards the Kerry goal, or the Dublin goal indeed. There's somebody else inside the crowd here who's got a whistle. The referee's whistle is the only one that counts, and that has blown to signify that Kerry have a free over on the far side. It's going to be a tricky angle. Well, it may suit Colm Cooper actually on his left boot. He's about 15 metres in from the Cusack stand sideline. He's going to be kicking into hill 16, and this could bring them level. He's about, 30 metres away from the Dublin goal. With the angle, he's even further out. And Colm Cooper lining up this free for Kerry. It would be their second point in a row. They trail by 1. Dublin leading by 6 points to Kerry's 1-2. It has been breathless stuff here in the first half. Low scoring, but really it has held the attention, and Colm Cooper kicking into the majority of the Dublin fans on hill 16 has put it wide. Bernard Brogan with a poor wide about 2 minutes ago, and Colm Cooper will be furious with himself because he missed it on the near side as well. So Dublin still lead by a point. 6 points to Kerry's 1-2.
Yeah, it's interesting. Two of the best free takers in the country have just missed two frees. Well, Cooper's was definitely the more difficult of the two of them. I think both teams will be happy enough at half time. They'll get settled down, get into the dressing room. There's a settling down period always in a game. Dublin feel they'll be happy they're in the match. Sometimes Kerry come out and try to blitz teams at the start. That hasn't happened, and they'll be happy enough. But it's very disappointing that there's a whistle in the crowd. It seems to be in the hill, and they're blowing it when Kerry are attacking, and that's been very unfair in the players, Darren.
We heard it very clearly just before that last free. The whistle from Joe McQuillan, the referee. Croke Park. Kerry in the second half. Remember the wind. Well, I can't really judge it, Martin. It's difficult to judge the way it's swirling around who exactly it is favouring. It's not particularly strong. It's strong enough where we are up here at the very one of the highest points at the top level of the Hogan stand. But Kerry in the second half will attack the Davin end, the canal end of Croke Park, and Dublin will be kicking into hill 16. Brendan Keeley, the Kerry goalkeeper who made that brilliant save in the first half, down there standing in front of hill 16, and the second half of this game underway, and Dublin lead by 6 points to Kerry's 1-2, and Dublin on the attack straight away. with Alan Brogan, gets out in front of Killian Young. Brogan 30 metres out, been forced a little wide. Brogan jinking one way, then the other, and Killian Young still with him, and Brogan kicking left-footed, looking for the first point of the second half, but he's put it wide on the near side, on the Hogan stand side of the post down there in front of Hill 16, and that is wide number 7 for Dublin. First of the second half, we're only half a minute in.
Sometimes the Dublin forwards are selfish and they take the wrong option, Dara. Dublin's such a situation there. It's well won in the middle of the field, clear to Alan Brogan. He should have held up the possession, but looking at the score like it's 6 points to 1-2, it's hard to get scores, so you've got to make the right option, and that's the difference maybe between Cooper at the other end. Kerry will take the right option if they get the same chances.
Dublin have converted 6 out of 14 scoring chances. Kerry have taken 3 out of 9, and they had 2 very long periods of no scoring during that first half of this All-Ireland final. Aidan O'Mahony, heading towards his own 45-metre line, now has to go back and hand passes it back to Killian Young. Kerry looking for All-Ireland title number 37, Dublin looking for number 23, and their first since 1995. Owen Brosnan with the fist pass up to Donncha Walsh, who was just dragged back a little by Brian Cullen. Now it's Tomas O'Shea in Dublin territory, right under the Hogan stand, in towards Kieran Donaghy, who's in at full forward, and Rory O'Carroll managed to get a hand on that and repel it as Donaghy went flying towards the ball. James McCarthy just trying to pick it up in front of his own 45-metre line, which he's managed to do, but now he's surrounded by Donaghy and Anthony Marr. They were claiming to the referee that he over-carried the ball, but it's a free instead to Dublin, which Ger Brennan will take.
Yeah, that was interesting in the first half. It wasn't good football. It's exciting stuff and everything else. The Kerry backs are doing well, but the Kerry forwards haven't coped well with this Dublin defensive system, and they're panicking a bit on the ball. And we saw it there again where they just thumped a high ball on top of maybe 3 Dublin players and done it.
Michael Darragh Macaulay hasn't had too many chances to run with the ball, and he was bottled up and dispossessed eventually. Declan O'Sullivan for Kerry up in front of the Cusack stand inside the Dublin 65-metre line. Got the first point of this All-Ireland final with the fist. They've taken 3 of the 9 scoring opportunities. The 10th opportunity could come now. Was that played on the ground as it was coming in towards Michael Fitzsimons? He seemed to touch the ball on the ground, but the referee didn't give the free. Dublin have it with James McCarthy right at his own 65-metre line. He's challenged by Declan O'Sullivan, and O'Sullivan trying to make it difficult for him, but James McCarthy stayed calm. Now it's Alan Brogan drifting all over the place. 1 minute he's in close to the Kerry goal. Now he's out of midfield. It's Ger Brennan, the centre half back, who lost the ball in contact. Barry Caldo has it for Dublin on the Kerry 65-metre line. Michael Darragh Macaulay, a little bit of space, and he hand passes it forward to the captain from Skerry's Harps, Brian Cullen. Now it's Alan Brogan, the quick flick forward, legally so, to Michael Darragh Macaulay, who's got through 2 Kerry men. Michael Darragh Macaulay goes with the fist, and he was dragged back. The ball ended up wide in the end, but the free given, it'll be right on the 13-metre line. Michael Darragh Macaulay finally getting a chance to run at the Kerry cover. He got past 2 of them, but it was Brian Sheehan, indeed his midfield buddy, or his midfield opponent anyway, who dragged him back, gave away the free, and Brian Sheehan has received a yellow card for his part in that incident. Dublin will have a free. Bernard Brogan getting ready to take it.
It's interesting, Dara. Kerry are making mistakes. Dublin putting pressure on. Kerry are not coping well with the pressure that Dublin putting on them in that midfield area. It was a good ball up to Cooper. He laid it off to Anthony Marr, was coming through, lost the ball coming through. Dublin worked it up the field, and that time Alan Brogan did better. He laid the ball inside to Michael Darragh Macaulay, and this is a chance to put Dublin 2 points up.
And it's a chance for Bernard Brogan, who scored 3 points in this All-Ireland final, right on the 14-metre line to the right of the post, Cusack stand side, and he slotted that over the bar, and Dublin have a 2-point lead. First point of this low-scoring second half, low-scoring All-Ireland final goes to Dublin. They lead by 7 points to Kerry's 1-2. We've been playing for 4 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, I suppose, but the thing is, the bench should be important. You feel now at this stage with Galvin already on the field that Dublin have the better bench, better players to come off the bench. At Kerry maybe have nobody to come off the bench to make a difference.
Yeah, the Paul Galvin card for Kerry played after 20 minutes of the first half. James McCarthy, 3 Kerry men around him. He got rid of the ball very quickly. Now it's Brian Cullen. They're starting to find some gaps in the Kerry half-back line. Brian Cullen now to Dennis Bastick. Bastick heading towards the Kerry goal. Bounces off Paul Galvin. He's 20 metres out. Now it's for Bernard Brogan. Brogan is there with O'Shea, and Bastick goes for the point and slots that over. And a huge roar on Hill 16 as Dublin get the first 2 points of the second half. Dennis Bastick, the 30-year-old midfielder who had to wait until 2 years ago to make his championship debut, has taken his chance. Now he's in the team, and Dublin lead by 8 points to Kerry's 1-2.
Interesting, Dara, very interesting. That's the 2 midfielders who's created them last 2 points going forward. Kerry are struggling in that midfield area.
Kerry have it just shy of their own midfield with Brian Sheehan. The hand pass to Paul Galvin, gets rid of it quickly. Tomás O'Shea singing, starting on Hill 16 already, a little on the premature side. There's a long way to go, and Kieran Donaghy has it now. Donaghy 20 metres out from the end line. He's over in front of the Cusack stand, gets it back from Darren O'Sullivan. The foot pass out to Declan O'Sullivan on the Dublin 45-metre line. Now it's Tomás O'Shea, really skillful footballer, knows how to score. So does Declan O'Sullivan. He took the snapshot and he's put it wide on the Hogan stand side of the post, right down in front of the canal end. So their first scoring opportunity in the second half is wide. Declan O'Sullivan claiming he was fouled just as he kicked that, Martin.
Yeah, they're not happy with the referee, Kerry, but interesting. Dublin are getting players back, putting pressure. They don't like that pressure game, Kerry. They're natural talent footballers, and they love the playing natural football. It'd be interesting they're playing against Donegal today. He would have a lot of players back in front of it. They're not coping well with the minute. They've done it inside. He did actually better when he was playing at wing half forward. They've moved him back inside. We talked about the first 10 minutes of the second half important. So far, it's Dublin so far.
Kick out taken by Stephen Cluxton, reached his own 65-metre line, but Dublin don't have the ball. Donncha Walsh has it for Kerry, just moving past that 65-metre line inside Dublin territory, gets it back from Aidan O'Mahony. A succession of fist passes. Now it's Darren O'Sullivan over in front of the Hogan stand. O'Sullivan has got going. O'Sullivan dragged down, it appeared, by Dennis Bastick, but the referee didn't give the free. Now he does give the free, and it's a free in to Kerry. 4 or 5 Dublin men around at the end as the free is given, and Kieran Donaghy getting involved with Michael Darragh Macaulay and a couple of the other Dublin guys. Rory O'Carroll, remember, has a yellow card from the first half, but it'll be a free in on the 13-metre line, about 15 metres in from the Cusack stand side. The angle, he's to the left of the post, the Cusack stand side of the post, kicking into the canal end, and Brian Sheehan puts the ball on the deck. He'll have to bring this in to try and slot it over the bar. Kerry yet to score in the second half of this All-Ireland final, and we're now just entering the 7th minute of the second half. 3 Kerry subs warming up right down in front of the Hogan stand. Brian Sheehan with the free for Kerry, looking for their first point of the second half, and the white flag goes up. That's a good point from Brian Sheehan. You would have fancied him to get it, and he did get it, and they closed the gap to 2 points. Kerry won 3, but Dublin now have 8 points, and the game restarted already. Anthony Marr has it for Kerry on the Dublin 65-metre line. Tomás O'Shea on the 45-metre line launches that in long towards Kieran Donaghy. Is it too long? Donaghy has it for Kerry. He's inside the small rectangle and fists the point over the bar. Real panic in the Dublin full back line. Rory O'Carroll was in there marking him. O'Carroll has been knocked to the ground by Kieran Donaghy, but the point counts. It was route 1 from Tomás O'Shea, and Donaghy fisted it over the bar.
Yeah, you're right, Dara, route 1. But what happens when Kerry won the kick out? Dublin need to win their own kick outs, because that gives them a chance to get players back. They don't. Tomás O'Shea kicked the long ball into Donaghy. He won it. It's a half-goal chance. He hadn't a player coming off his shoulder. They need more from Gooch. Darren O'Sullivan's doing well. Gooch, they're not getting enough from Gooch. They need to get more ball to him. They need to get him in closer to Donaghy in that situation.
2 points apiece for Kerry and Dublin since the match restarted. It's a 1-point game again. Dublin 8 points, Kerry won 4. Kerry attack again. They could blitz Dublin at the start of the second half. That's what they will fancy doing. And Ger Brennan has caught Declan O'Sullivan in a dangerous position. O'Sullivan seemed to be falling just as he came in there, but Ger Brennan, the Dublin centre half back, dragged straight across by the referee. He has caught the Kerry man, who's almost out cold. It was a clumsy challenge by Ger Brennan on Declan O'Sullivan, and the referee over talking to him straight away. What colour will the card be? It is yellow for Ger Brennan, and for a moment I'm sure his heart was in his mouth, the St Vincent's player, because it was an awkward, messy looking challenge, and Declan O'Sullivan still receiving treatment. Ger Brennan just has a yellow card.
It's a red card. It looks to me as if he caught him. I know Declan Sullivan was going down. We see it here again on the big screen. I thought he caught him. It looks as if maybe his left shoulder caught him on the way in. Now Declan Sullivan was going down, but it's a dangerous tackle when you see it. He's up again. Okay, Kerry have come right back into it. They got to grips with midfield. Midfield, we talked about it. The first 2 scores for Dublin in the second half, Dara, came from the 2 midfielders. Basti scored one of them. Michael Darragh Macaulay was fouled for the other one. Now Kerry have gotten top in that midfield area, and is Declan O'Sullivan is he going to be a blood substitution here?
Yeah, Kieran O'Leary has actually come on to the pitch. He was taken off, remember, replaced by Paul Galvin after 20 minutes of the first half, and O'Leary has come on. Declan O'Sullivan, some blood coming from his nose. He's not badly injured at all. He ran across to the linesman. He's just had a word with the linesman, and Colm Cooper with the free, and he's put that over, and the side's level for the 3rd time in this All-Ireland final. We've been playing for almost 10 minutes of the second half. Dublin 8 points, Kerry won 5. Kieran O'Leary on temporarily for Declan O'Sullivan.
I can give you a great stat this year. We had 92 games played in hurling and football this year, and we've only had one draw. Was it Armagh, Wicklow? Could we have a draw here today, Dara?
Last draw in the All-Ireland final in 2000. Stephen Cluxton has been put under real pressure by Kieran Donaghy right on the end line, and he's panicked a bit, and Donegal Walsh has it. Walsh plays the ball back out the field to Tomas O'Shea over in front of the Cusack stand. O'Shea drills it in looking for the point, but he's put it wide. They had half a chance there. Stephen Cluxton was caught with the ball in his hands in possession. Kieran Donaghy got right up on him in his face, and the ball eventually kicked wide.
Yeah, it's interesting. Cluxton kicked a couple of balls out to the middle of the field, and Kerry was starting to win them. Figured out he's going to kick this in short, and Donaghy did really well to put the pressure on. Ball worked out. Thomas O'Shea and Colm Cooper's beside him. Colm Cooper went off the head with him when he not passing the ball. He should have given. He panicked about Thomas O'Shea. I think he should have given the ball to Cooper beside him. Kerry are on top of this moment in time. See a substitution coming on for Dublin.
Yeah, it's James McCarthy who's going off, and he's been replaced by his Ballymun Kickham's clubmate Philly McMahon. McMahon comes on wearing number 21. Kieran O'Leary has gone off, and Declan O'Sullivan, they've stemmed the flow of blood.
Yeah, McCarthy's injured. Very heavily strapped, and he seems to be injured going off here.
Yeah, his right hamstring, it would appear, has given way, and James McCarthy's All-Ireland final is over, and Philly McMahon comes on in his place.
Keane O'Sullivan, Dara, going to centre half back. Keane O'Sullivan centre half back. Philly McMahon going into the corner to pick up Colm Cooper.
Keane O'Sullivan, that's where he was in the Tyrone game, and remember Dublin scored 19 points from play. Very comfortable in that sort of position. The Kilmacud Crokes man. Bottled up was Barry Cahill and fell by 2, if not 3. Kerry meant Dublin have a free right on halfway. Taken short on the 65-metre line. It's claimed by the captain Brian Cullen. Cullen sends it deep into Kerry territory towards Alan Brogan, who's out in front of his man Killian Young. Now it's Philly McMahon wearing 21, sends it in low on the ground to Diarmuid Connolly, who's managed to get out in front of Tom O'Sullivan, but on that occasion he managed to foul Tom O'Sullivan, so Kerry have a free. The sides all tied up. 8 points for Dublin. Kerry 1-5. We're in the 12th minute of the second half here in Croke Park in Dublin. Darren O'Sullivan for Kerry. Donegal Walsh on the Dublin 65-metre line. They work it tight, close to the sideline, down in front of the Hogan stand. It's Darren O'Sullivan, back to Paul Galvin. Galvin scored a point towards the end of the first half. Now it's Donegal Walsh. Walsh sends it across the 20-metre line. Dublin hands in there, and it's claimed by Michael Fitzsimons. Fitzsimons, the Dublin and Coola defender, stayed calm and cool there. Now it's Ger Brennan, who's fortunate perhaps to still be on the park after receiving his yellow card for that collision with Darren O'Sullivan. Michael Darren McCauley scored the first point of the second half, and he's fouled right on halfway. And Kieran Donaghy is anxious to get into as many Dublin faces as he can. He's drifting all over the place. The free taken, it's moved sideways to Paul Flynn. Flynn from 55 metres out in towards Diarmuid Connolly. Connolly has it in the air. It's Bernard Brogan indeed. Bernard Brogan for Dublin, right across the face of the goal. Bernard Brogan caught clean possession, and perhaps I think was going for the point, but he never got enough elevation on it. And Brendan Keeley, the Kerry goalkeeper, delighted to see that one drift wide. It wasn't wide by an awful distance, but it is wide number 8 for Dublin now.
It's a bad miss by Bernard Brogan. I mean, he should at least got a point out of it. Did really well to win the ball from the ball went in, and I mean, he should have laid it off.
Owen Brosnan has taken a bit of a hit from I think it's Paul Flynn, and he's down on his knees at the moment. We're told that Manchester United lead Chelsea by 2-0 at Old Trafford. It's all square. The sides have been level 3 times in this All-Ireland final. Kerry getting ready to bring in Barry John Keane from Kerrins O'Reilly's. He'll be in next time the ball is out of play. Kerry keeping possession at the moment inside their own half, 60 metres from their own goal. Alan Brogan trying to get the challenge in, Tomas O'Shea, and Kerry just keeping it at the moment, just teasing Dublin, but inside their own half, and now they decide to go forward with Anthony Marr. They won't do too much damage out there. Marr launches it in long towards Kieran Donaghy, gets up well, but it's slapped down by Nolan. Now it's Donegal Walsh, goal chance, but the whistle has sounded. The ball was chipped over the bar, it appeared, but it's a free out to Dublin. A free out to Dublin. Again, the Route 1 ball caused serious panic. Dublin are going to make another change. Kevin McManaman, who made such an impression against Donegal, is going to come in. A Kerry switch coming up, and a Dublin substitution as well, as Dublin have it Cusack stand side with Alan Brogan. Brogan with the hand pass in towards Barry Cahill, outside the Kerry 45-metre line. 2 Kerry men around him, he's on the ground, and he's been penalised. It's a free out.
Yeah, the next score is going to be very important in this game. You thought Dublin with 3 points up, Kerry have taken it back. Now they've gone a while, the 2 teams outscoring. The next one's going to be important, Dara.
1977, the last time Dublin managed to beat Kerry in the championship. Kerry have dominated this rivalry in that period of time. It's Brian Sheehan teasing the cover, 35 metres out, shoots left-footed, they didn't get pressure on him, and Sheehan slots that over, and Kerry go back in front. Kerry now lead by 1-6 to Dublin's 8 points. We're a quarter of an hour in to the second half, and now the substitutions happen. That was a brilliant point from Brian Sheehan. He toe-tapped the ball a couple of times, turned one way then the other, and a lovely kick and point from 35 metres out. Paul Flynn has gone off the Dublin team, replaced by number 24 Kevin McManaman, and now Kerry make their change. It's Barry John Keane wearing number 21 who replaces Donncha Walsh in the half forward line, Martin.
Yeah, it's interesting you were saying this, what is 1977 since Dublin beat Kerry. He was telling me during the week Elvis was alive the last time Dublin beat Kerry. Now they're panicking a bit, Dublin area, looking at the Kevin McManaman on now to try to change their style and start running at them, because they've caused them more problems, Dublin, when they run at them. But midfield's very important. When Dublin were top at the start of the second half, they were winning the game, and Kerry got back in top in that area.
Cluxton's kick out is won cleanly for Dublin by Michael Dara McCauley on his own 65-metre line. He's fouled as he attempted to get the ball away to Kevin McManaman, and Dublin want to get on with it quickly. They find themselves a point behind, having stretched their lead to 3 in the early stages of the second half. Michael Dara McCauley, his turn to go long towards Diarmuid Connolly, got a handle that. Kevin Nolan joins in 30 metres from the Kerry goal, but the roar from the Kerry supporters as Owen Brosnan takes the ball out, but it's short-lived. He's given it to Alan Brogan. Now it's Barry Cahill. McManaman is free inside, screaming for it. Cahill can't see it. Here's McManaman now for Dublin. McManaman taken off him 6 metres away from goal. Is it a penalty? Was it played on the ground by a Kerry man in there? It's a very tight call. What exactly has the referee decided to do?
I thought it was a very good tackle, Dara, made by the Kerry player, but he must have touched the ball on the ground now.
McManaman, and it was...
That's a bad decision by the referee. It seems as if his boot had got to it then. Yeah. See it here again, Barry Cahill. McManaman was inside, he gave it into him. I thought Owen Brosnan made a great tackle, but he didn't seem to touch the ball on the ground. He took the ball in his hands and then he kicked it away.
It's not a penalty, it's a free on the 13-metre line for Bernard Brogan, which he could slot over in his sleep to bring the sides level for the 4th time. So Dublin 9 points, Kerry 1-6. But Kevin McManaman was free for almost an eternity in there, and it was Barry Cahill who had the ball, and you have to give huge credit to Aidan O'Mahony, who was marking him at the time, who managed to hold him up. He did eventually get the ball away, but it needed an early delivery from Barry Cahill, and McManaman was completely unmarked. He surely would have buried it in the back of the net. So credit to Aidan O'Mahony, all his experience. We heard an awful lot about the over 30s in the Kerry defence. Those 6 backs, 5 of them are over 30. Tom O'Sullivan and Tomás O'Shea playing in their 10th All-Ireland finals, an incredible record as Kerry look to attack. Kieran Donaghy 20 metres away from the Dublin goal, couldn't hang on to it, and Colm Cooper very cleverly, just as the ball was about to go over the end line, he played it off a Dublin defender, Michael Fitzsimons. They have a 45, and then there's another flashpoint with Kieran Donaghy and Rory O'Carroll, Michael Fitzsimons there as well, and the umpire down there, it is Kieran Brady, who's on that side of the post at the Canal End goal. He is just, well, he was having a little word with Joe McQuillan about that incident perhaps, but the referees decided not to take any action, and Brian Sheehan can put Kerry in front again with the 45. Kerry 1-6, Dublin 9 points, 18 and a half minutes into the second half of this enthralling 2011 All-Ireland Senior Football Final.
He's got 2 points so far.
Sheehan just steadying down, trying to get the air into his lungs. The 45 from Sheehan. He's made good contact. He likes it. He's running away. And the reason he likes it is it's gone over the bar. That's a lovely kick from Brian Sheehan. And Kerry edge in front again, 1-7 to Dublin's 9 points.
He's had a good 10 minutes. He kicked a great point with his left foot. He won that kick out and only ran out to the wing and won that kick out, and then he kicked the 45 over the bar. Great credit to Colm Cooper. Michael Fitzsimons letting the ball go wide, but Cooper got his boot into it and made that point.
Such a clever play from Colm Cooper. The Kerry captain wearing number 13. No captain wearing that number has ever managed to lift Sam Maguire. Will Cooper break that particular duck today? Philly McMahon, as Paul Galvin goes down. That's the explanation for the roar from the Kerry fans. Dublin had possession, now they've lost it. Kerry, their turn to get numbers back. They've 5 or 6 guys just loitering around their own 65-metre line, trying to make it difficult for Dublin, which they did. Paul Galvin on the Dublin 65-metre line to Barry John Keane, the substitute, wearing number 21. The hand pass was in the air quite a while, all the way across to Tomás O'Shea. Anthony Marr. Kerry, as they did about 5 minutes ago, keeping the ball again. and just looking for the right angle of attack. Kieran Donaghy's waiting in right close to Stephen Cluxton, a couple of yards away from it. Now it's Barry John Keane on the Dublin 45-metre line. Darren O'Sullivan, Colm Cooper moves away from him. He's just inside the arc and he's dragged down by Kevin McManama. So a free in from a very kickable position with the likes of Brian Sheehan around. He is about, he's 30 metres away from the Dublin goal, right in front of the post, and Sheehan taking his time to come over and line this up. Kerry lead by 1. Sheehan should make it a 2-point game.
Yeah, he'll probably make it a 2-point game. Interesting subs came on. Galvin came on the first half and made 2 mistakes and probably give away 2 scores. Kevin McManus come on now. He lost the ball up the field, come down and he's given away that free. Give credit to Kerry. I thought they were panicking about the first half with this zonal defence. They're leaving Donaghy inside. They're even taking Cooper and players out around that area and holding up the ball, and they're running at Dublin and they're creating the frees. Kerry, look at it. Dublin went 3 points up there in the second half, and this could put Kerry now 2 points up. Big turnaround, and they've settled down. They've got relaxed. Whatever was said in the dressing room has sorted it out.
Sheehan with the free. Ball on the ground and ball over the bar, and Brian Sheehan has extended Kerry's advantage 1-8 to Dublin's 9 points. The lead after 5 minutes of the second half for Dublin was actually 3 points. They led by 8 points to 1-2. So quite a turnaround as Kerry now lead by 2, and the ball from Colm Cooper put in the back of the net, but the referee's whistle sounded and Dublin are going to make a change. They're taking Barry Cahill off, and Owen O'Gara of Temple Oak Sing Street is coming on in his place. So an indication from Pat Gilroy that things need to change as they find themselves 2 points in arrears. We are 21.5 minutes into the second half, and Stephen Cluxton will take the kick out again. He has the ball on his own 13-metre line, plays it. Hogan stands side towards Brian Cullen and Dennis Bastick. It breaks the well for Kerry and breaks for Tomas O'Shea. O'Shea heading towards the Dublin 45-metre line. 3 Dublin men in tow, and O'Shea still has the ball and manages to squirt it out. That was almost like a ruck or a maul in a rugby match, but they kept the ball alive, and now they've got a free in just outside the Dublin 45-metre line. It is going wrong for Dublin, and Kerry starting to take charge of this All-Ireland final, having been 3 points down in the early stages of the second half.
Yeah, they've got the grip. Cluxton's kick out. They're working them really well. They're putting pressure. They're putting pressure on a kick out as he's kicking it out, getting the ball. Brian Sheehan's come into the game really well in the middle of the field. He's probably the most natural footballer of the 4 midfielders. That team, Thomas O'Shea, if Kerry won this match, they look back on that there. How he was going to be blowing up over Kerry, how he got the ball out. They're pulling everybody out, leaving Donaghy inside his own. They're not panicking on the ball. They're picking up the breaks. Yeah, Dublin. This is the question mark's been asked of Dublin. We saw their minor team choking. Today this Dublin team in the past has choked. They've made the wrong decisions. Go back to Alan Brogan. Bernard Brogan's 2 chances in this half. The goal chance that Alan Brogan had the first half. Jamie Conley chances, and a low-scoring game that makes the difference. Kerry have got it right in the dressing room, Darry. You have to say at half time they're holding possession. They're taking their time. They're not panicking against the zonal or a lot of defenders.
That extra weight in the dressing room was worth it. Brian Sheehan lining up this free from 50 metres out in a central position, kicking into the canal end of Croke Park. Manchester United, we're told, now lead Chelsea by 3-0, and Sheehan is 3 from 4 with the place balls. It's a good distance out. There isn't an awful lot of wind. It's gone a little dull overhead around Croke Park, and Sheehan drills that, and it's caught by Stephen Cluxton right under the post, and Cluxton needs to get rid of it quickly, which he did, and that was brilliant from Stephen Cluxton. There was a foot block, it appeared, by Colm Cooper and Kevin Nolan as he tried to clear that ball. Dublin have it, and they need to get moving. They trail this All-Ireland final by 2 points, and time running out. 23.5 minutes gone in the second half. Kerry taking charge, but Dublin with Kevin McManaman attacking in front of Hill 16. Right over there in front of the Hogan stand, or the Cusack stand indeed. He comes in closer, never got hold of the shot and dropped it short. It was never more than 2 or 3 yards off the ground as Brendan Keeling claimed it for Kerry. And here come Kerry again with their fullback. He's supposed to be the fullback, Mark O'Shea, now popping up in a right half forward position. He is hit hard by Kevin Nolan. Hand passes it back to Barry John Keane, who's done well since coming in. Paul Galvin ditto. Here's Declan O'Sullivan, and Kerry keeping the ball again and just waiting for the right opening. They're just outside their own 65-metre line. Killian Young, they go sideways. Now Owen Brosnan changes the angle of attack. It's keep ball for Kerry. The fist pass forward to Barry John Keane. Paul Galvin has it right in front of the Hogan stand, and he wanted somebody from Kerry to move into that space, but the space filled by Dennis Bastick, and Dublin making a bit of a mess of it. Michael Fitzsimons put under pressure. Darren O'Sullivan has it back. Colm Cooper is there, and a foul. A big foul by Cian O'Sullivan, who just jumped on top of Darren O'Sullivan, and he punches the air into light. They know this is a big moment. Another free coming up, another opportunity for Brian Sheehan to extend their lead. It's 2 at the moment, it could be 3 shortly. 40 metres away from the Dublin post. This free will take place for Brian Sheehan, and Cian O'Sullivan is down injured.
It will be Colm Cooper that's going to kick it. Sheehan seems to be walking back from it. Now, do you remember the one he missed the first half? It's about the same position. I think you're right. Maybe it would be the kick. Maybe it should be Brian Sheehan should kick it. Great play by Darren O'Sullivan, working hard. They're holding possession. We talk about this blanket defence, we talk about everything else. That's the way Kerry play against it. Leave one man inside, everybody else out, and hold on to possession, and they're getting frees, and they're tackling pressure, and Dublin coming out. They're doing to Dublin what Dublin maybe did to them the first half. And look, it's an important stage in the game, but Kerry they're only still the 2 points ahead. What, you have 10 minutes left yet in the game, so this is a big kick for Cooper. He's captain, he has the number 13 on his back. This is a big kick.
Well, it was lucky yesterday for Brian O'Driscoll, this the 13th meeting of these two counties in an All-Ireland senior final, and Colm Cooper will take this kick as Cian O'Sullivan receives a yellow card from Joe McQuillan, the referee. This is on the Hogan stand side. He's in a central enough position. It does certainly suit a left-footed kicker, but Brian Sheehan wouldn't have minded this one, I don't think. The angle not particularly difficult for Colm Cooper. He is 35 metres away from the Dublin post. This to give them a 3-point lead, and Cooper has slotted that. Not so unlucky for Colm Cooper. That's a lovely score. Every moment of this match, every scoring opportunity right now has got to be taken, and Kerry lead by 3 at the crucial time. The big players coming forward, and like all good teams in all sports, it's taken them a while to figure out this Dublin system, but they have figured it out, and they lead by 3. A goal between them in Croke Park in the All-Ireland final. We are inside the last 10 minutes. Dermot Connolly hasn't played the ball on the ground, and the referee has penalised him for that, and everything going Kerry's way at the moment.
Yeah, they got to grips with it. You have to give them credit. They sorted out half-time, whatever. And the well is that you need players on the field to make the difference. The Dublin players in the field weren't able to do it against Donegal. They struggled, but today Kerry, that just shows you what Kerry's about today.
Very interesting. About 50 metres from his own goal, Brian Sheehan took the free and went backwards with it. So again, they'll keep the ball as long as they can as they seek out another opening. Tomas O'Shea bottled up in midfield. Owen O'Gara, wearing 20, tries to challenge Brian Sheehan. The free man here is Barry John Keane inside the Dublin 45-metre line, heading to 20 metres out. Tries the shot. That is brilliant. No, is it? Has it gone over? No, it's gone wide. We were right behind that. It looked absolutely wonderful from Barry John Keane. They're going to bring Daniel Bohan in from Austin Stacks, but he didn't miss that by much at all. An inch or two. It has ended up as a wide though, and now Eamon Fennell has come in for Dublin from St Vincent's, wearing number 25. Dennis Bastick was prominent at the start of the second half. He has gone off, and Kerry going to bring Bohan in. Dublin haven't scored for 10 minutes. The Bernard Brogan free was their last score. They've only 3 points in the second half. Here comes Kerry again. Colm Cooper teasing Philly McMahon, sets down, shoots right-footed from 20 metres out, and Colm Cooper slots it over, and it's a 2-score game. 4 points between them. Kerry 110, Dublin 9 points. Dublin are fading, and Kerry coming into their own when it matters most.
Yeah, they got it right. Even Cluxton kicked that ball, kick out to the middle of the field, and Dublin struggling in the middle of the field. They've taken on Eamon Fennell in that area. Andy Maher won the ball with one hand, knocked it, and to Cooper, and that's 2 by captain. That's leading by example, put you the 4 points up. 2 great scores by Cooper, one from a free with his left foot, and that there was his right foot. That's what class is about. 2 scores with either foot.
Another Dublin kick out has been secured by Kerry. They head back into their own half with it with Anthony Marr. They have brought Daniel Bohan in for Owen Brosnan. Kerry with it over on the far side, the Cusick stand side of Croke Park. It's gone very dull and a little cooler here, but the Kerry supporters won't be feeling any bad weather at the minute. Here come Dublin though. Alan Brogan with the fist pass in. Here's Kevin McManaman. Dublin need a goal. McManaman, goal! Goal for Dublin from Kevin McManaman. They're back in this game, just a point between them. Kerry switched off completely. Alan Brogan set it up, and McManaman buried it past Brendan Keeley in the Kerry goal, and just a point between them. We've about 6 minutes to go. Kerry 110, Dublin 19. Game on.
Game on, and game won by Kerry, and Declan O'Sullivan makes a bad mistake. A forward back in defence, maybe a bad time to go and Brosnan off to take on Daniel Bohan. a player coming into the defence that there. But what a mistake by Declan Sullivan. Kerry had the game won. Now it really is game on. In that situation, Declan Sullivan made a bad mistake and he tried to get back and cover it. The only way Dublin were going to get through was a mistake. Declan Sullivan lost the ball. Well finished by McMenamin. It is game on now.
And a mistake by Tom O'Sullivan. They had the ball inside their own half and they gifted possession straight to Michael Dara McCauley. Kerry giving away a free. Dublin's Alan Brogan, their number 13, getting ready to take it, plays it short to Diarmuid Connolly. Kerry 110, Dublin 19. Dublin attacking though with Kevin Nolan shooting from 35 metres out. Nolan, and that's a wonderful point from Kevin Nolan. And the sides level for the 5th time. Will we have a draw in the All-Ireland final for the first time in 11 years? Dublin supporters celebrating on Hill 16 because they were dead and buried, 4 points behind about 90 seconds ago, and now we're level, 110 each.
Yeah, level now. What a kick by Nolan. This is 1 week. Kerry struggled. They just got it wrong. Declan Sullivan lost a point. Giving away a point was no problem, but when they get away a goal from their point of view, disaster. And you mean you feel now is advantage Dublin? What will come Kevin McMenamin? I think Bernard Brogan's down injured here, so there's no play going on at the minute. So Dublin were over. It was over for Dublin. Colm Cooper's pointed for Kerry. 4 points up, looked over. What a response by Dublin. Give credit to Kevin McMenamin. He gave away a score. He lost the ball. He carried it through and finished it really well low to the net. And it's interesting. It's advantage Dublin now.
It certainly is. There was treatment too for cramp from Michael Dara McCauley. The game now back on. Tom O'Sullivan, who made the mistake that led to that goal. Here is Declan O'Sullivan in front of the Cusack stand on the Dublin 65-metre line, looking a little tired. We're inside the final 5 minutes. Declan O'Sullivan still going. Will this be the time that this much spoken about and written about Dublin's strength and conditioning, when that will come into play? Kerry with a lot of over 30s in their defence, 5 of them in fact. Here's Anthony Marr on the Dublin 65-metre line, 110 apiece, 4 minutes to go, and Dublin
Who's your money on Darren?
I don't have any money.
A lot of people all year that back different teams to won the All-Ireland. Look at this here. So, draw would be a fair result at this stage, and we'll have another day out in 2 weeks' time.
Wouldn't we like that? Here's Paul Galvin with the free. Barry John Keane got there ahead of Ger Brennan on the Dublin 45-metre line, and Dublin swarming around him. The ball squirts out again. Here's Tomas O'Shea. O'Shea to Darren O'Sullivan. Will he get a chance to run at them? The pace is breathtaking from Darren O'Sullivan. Hand pass to Barry John Keane. Loads of Dublin players around. I can't even count them at this stage. There are loads of them. They go backwards and sideways. Tomas O'Shea from Paul Galvin. Brian Sheehan to his left. Now there's a free man over on the far side. The sides level, 13 points apiece, 110 apiece. Here's Colm Cooper, 13 metres away from the Dublin goal. He's bottled up. Alan Brogan is back there in the right corner back position. They go back out the field again to Anthony Marr. Barry John Keane at the edge of the arc. Barry John Keane slips. Diarmuid Connolly is back there, and Kerry have lost the ball. The sides level. 3 minutes of the regulation, 70 to go. Ger Brennan inside his own 45. Philly McMahon. This is incredible stuff. They were dead and buried, 4 points behind a couple of minutes ago, and they're back level. Here's Owen O'Gara. Tom O'Sullivan got a hand in. Dublin inside Kerry territory. Brian Cullen sends it in long to Bernard Brogan. It missed Brogan and O'Shea, and Brendan Keeley out, and he clears it forward soccer style to the free man Killian Young. He'll have to race to keep it in play, and he couldn't manage to do it. And the momentum at the moment has swung Dublin's way. You can hear it around the ground. Huge roars from the Dublin followers. The nails are gone for the Dublin followers and the Kerry followers. Here's Diarmuid Connolly. Connolly had that amazing night against Tyrone, right in front of the Cusack stand. Michael Dara McCauley is 13 metres away in front of Hill 16. Has to go back for help from Bernard Brogan. Brogan takes the shot and he puts it over the bar. And Dublin go in front with under 2 minutes to go of this sensational All-Ireland final. At times, the quality hasn't been fantastic, but for entertainment and sheer drama, you can't beat this. The kick out from Kerry has been won by Dublin. Kevin McMenamin, the ball just been sucked in towards Hill 16. Dublin lead 111 to Kerry's 110. 90 seconds of the 70 minutes remaining. Kevin McMenamin, the hero, the goal scorer. Alan Brogan, Dublin's turn to keep it. 40 metres out, it's Kevin Nolan. Michael Dara McCauley got away from Paul Galvin. A huge shot from Michael Dara McCauley, but he's put it wide.
Put it wide. Sarah, great commentary there. It's hard to keep it going, but I think there's 2 players that turned it. Kevin Nolan, the great scorer to get the equalising score, and the man you mentioned, Kevin McMenamin. But what a mistake by the Kerry goalkeeper, that in Brendan Keeley. He should have picked up the ball and worked it out the field, and what he tried to do was get it out, and he came back in, and Bernard Brogan got that point. Can Kerry come back and get a point?
We are now in the last minute of this 2011 All-Ireland Senior Final. In the last 2 weeks, Dublin's underage hurling and football teams have lost 3 All-Ireland finals. They lead by 111 to 110. But here come Kerry. Anthony Marr, 45 metres away from goal. Here is Daniel Bohan wearing 17. Kieran Donaghy takes the shot from underneath the Cusack stand. It's high, it drops in from Donaghy, and it's wonderful from Kieran Donaghy. What an amazing point. He's put that over the bar and the sides are level. And are we heading for a replay? That is stunning from Kieran Donaghy.
That's fabulous from Kieran Donaghy. Fair play to him taking on the shot. This time Colm Cooper had the ball out in the flat there earlier on in the match, and he didn't take on the shot. That time Donaghy made the decision to take on the shot. I think a draw would be a fair result, but we have 10 seconds left in this. Don't know how long they're going to be extra time, and I think a draw would be a fair result.
2 minutes to be added on. These teams have been level 6 times here in Croke Park. Dublin 111, Kerry 111. We would love to see these two do it again, but Ger Brennan seems to have pushed Kieran Donaghy to the ground. Is it Ger Brennan who's been booked already? Kieran Donaghy hit the deck. The referee has the ball in his hands. Donaghy's back up on his feet.
That's undisciplined by Ger Brennan. He lost the free. The biggest thing at this stage in the game was to lose the free. Dublin had possession, going to get the free. He pushed Donaghy to the ground. He's lost the free.
We are in stoppage time. He could have been sent off. He's a yellow card against him already. The ball now been thrown in, and Dublin have it with Alan Brogan. The sides level. They drew, remember, famously in Thurles in 2001, that All-Ireland quarter-final, the first year of the qualifier series. Is there a winner in Dublin, or is there a winner in Kerry? Dublin attacking with Dermot Connolly over on the far side. He's dumped to the ground, but not fell. Connolly having to head back towards his own goal, and now on the Kerry 45-metre line, Kevin McManaman, the goal scorer, goes down. He's got a free in 35 metres away from goal, and a chance for Dublin surely to win this, and Cluxton is going to head forward to take it 35 or so metres away from the post in front of Hill 16, and it's about 20 metres in on the Cusack stand side of the post. Oh, it is breathtaking stuff, and Stephen Cluxton will surely have a chance to win the Sam Maguire for Dublin 16 years after they won their last, 1995. 2 minutes of added time are being played on the big scoreboard here in Croke Park. It now says 71 minutes and 31, 32, 33. Dublin want to make a change, and Stephen Cluxton, who has scored 1 point.
This is just stuff you dream up there.
You can imagine
he's going to be some hero in Dublin if he kicks it.
As a kid in his backyard growing up on the north side of Dublin, this kick to win the All-Ireland. He's 1 from 2, and Stephen Cluxton runs up, kicks the ball. Cluxton, what do they tell you on the hill? They tell you it's over. Stephen Cluxton has got it, and Dublin lead by a point. Dublin 112, Kerry 111, and Kerry have got to come up with a score. The 2 minutes are over. The 2 minutes are gone, but the match still continues. Stephen Cluxton with that starting point. It's over. It's all over. And Dublin have ended their 16-year famine. 1995 under Dr. Pat O'Neill was their last All-Ireland. That is astonishing. The goalkeeper, who was their 4th top scorer all year, has missed one in the first half, but he held his nerve kicking into Hill 16, and Dublin have beaten Kerry, and they are All-Ireland champions.
Yeah, in this game, Kerry had the game won. You have to give credit to Dublin, to Kevin McManaman, for what a mistake by Declan Sullivan. He's won a lot of All-Irelands for Kerry. He made the bad mistake to give away the goal, had the game over. Fair play to Dublin, they kept battling, they battled hard, and I give a lot of credit to Kevin McManaman, particularly, as I said, and tall Kevin Nolan as well. It's a great score when he needed to equalise. It's great credit to Dublin. So both their performance against Tyrone has been the performance of the year. Kerry won't begrudge them this, and the great celebrations down in front of the hill. And it's a great day. It's a great day for Dublin, and it's great to see them, for Pat Gilroy and the whole team, because it looked at a stage in the game it was all over. They needed the goal to get back there. Just a mistake by Declan Sullivan, and then a mistake by the goalkeeper as well, Brendan Keeley, when he kicked out the ball long. But look at Kerry, look at that there. Dublin's point of view, great credit. Kevin McManaman made the difference. He came on against Donegal. Made the difference today as well. They made the switch in the middle of the field to take Eamon Fennell into that area. This is one Kerry led away, but Dublin will be happy enough. What a great way to win a match. I'd say it never happened in the GAA before that the goalkeeper kicked the winning point in an All-Ireland final. He'll be remembered. He'll go down in the history books. Stephen Cluxton, Dara now.
He certainly will. That'll be a quiz question in years to come. Although this is and will become such a famous win, nobody will ever get that question wrong. Hill 16 erupting into this sea of blue. There are Dublin supporters and indeed some of the players around us. And